I'm going to show you the strategy I use to unlock the achievement Will It Ever End, which requires you to complete 3 consecutive battles in endless mode. While I can't guarantee the same strategy will work 100% of the time, I'm hoping it will give you some information to give you a better chance at succeeding. To start, I used Underlegion as primary clan, with Guillotine as the champion. Secondary clan was the Banished. The Pyre Heart was Pyre of the Dominion. I chose no Covenant rank to make this as easy as possible. For mutators, I believe endless mode only happens if mutators are turned off, which is why I left them off. Step 1 in the run was to make sure I drafted Cluster Kernel in one of the 4 starting packs. I'm going to use him to buff the champion with rally effects. Step 2 was to make sure I had the champion upgrade that gives permanent rally upgrade effects. Here I didn't have it, so I restarted the run to randomize the selections again. Here I had the cluster kernel and the correct champion upgrade on this run. Step 3 is to focus on building the champion with rally effects. Place the champion on any floor, then place the cluster kernel behind him. He'll gain permanent upgrades each turn. Continue playing this way and focus on increasing your champion stats as much as possible. As you play, here are some critical cards and artifacts to look for. First is Cleave. This is a great way to clear rows of enemies, especially weaker ones that usually hide in the back. Second is Amoris Enoki. This can be helpful to play along with a cluster kernel on another floor. I would normally not play the Enoki on the same floor as the champion, because the Enoki does not give permanent upgrades like a cluster kernel does. Third is the artifact, Crown of the Eternal, which is probably the most critical artifact for this run's strategy. It heals your champion after every turn, which is needed since I'm relying on him so much, especially in the endless waves. Fourth is this shield equipment, which is another critical piece for this run's strategy. It will basically make enemies kill themselves when they attack your champion, which is extremely helpful in the endless battles. My fifth recommendation is the Infectory. This room is a nice way to get some extra rally triggers for your champion. Now let's talk about unit upgrades I focused on. For Cluster Kernel, I chose the Heartstone and Titanstone to give it some extra survivability. This paired really well with the Amoris Enoki's regen ability, and the Cluster Kernel held up even in the endless battles, which surprised me. For the champion, I always chose the increased rally effect upgrades. The permanent stat increases really helped out. For the first Pyre upgrade, I chose increased floor capacity because I could then fit 2 cluster kernels behind the champion, which would increase his rally triggers by double the amount. For the second Pyre upgrade, I chose the increased Ember to have more flexibility to play more cards in the endless battles. After defeating the final boss and starting the endless battles, I changed my unit placement to have the champion on the top floor, with all other units below him. The reasoning for this is because I needed time to draw the shield equipment and place it on the champion. I also needed the champion to be alone, so that the enemies would attack him and trigger the shield's effect. If your champion does not have at least 400 health by the start of the first endless wave, you may want to continue using the cluster kernel to increase his stats a little more before the second and third endless wave. If at any point you think you're going to lose, don't be afraid to restart the battle. You can restart as many times as you need to and it won't prevent you from getting the achievement. There were many other minor decisions in this run that I did not cover in this video, but the actions I mentioned are the most important parts of this run. One final disclaimer. The developers of this game can update the game at any time and change how some of the units or items act in the game. While I hope that there are no drastic changes, this is something I thought I should mention. I'll play the rest of the 3 endless battles if you'd like to watch that. Thanks for watching, and good luck.